It's possible, the breaking news from Adam Schefter in the NFL Network, that he has a torn Achilles on the last play of his second practice with the New Orleans Saints, and that would be devastating for not just Dez Bryant, but his fans. How devastating would it be for the New Orleans Saints? Let's go to sharpfootballanalysis.com and ESPN Chalk contributor Warren Sharp on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Warren, before we get into some quarterback talk, how devastating do you think this potential news is for the New Orleans Saints? Do you think Dez Bryant was going to end up being someone that contributed in a meaningful way to the Saints this year?
I think it was going to be an auxiliary weapon that they were going to be able to use for depth, as well as when they got into situations where they weren't going to be able to run the football. This is still a very dynamic team, very different than they were several years ago when they had to rely completely on Drew Brees, especially if they had to go on the road and win games. They were so pass-heavy in those situations. Now they're much more of a run-based offense. We saw the last couple of road games that they played. They went into Baltimore. They ran the ball a lot there. They went into Minnesota. Even though Minnesota had a bunch of secondary injuries with the defensive secondary, they still ran the ball a lot more often than I was personally expecting them to do. When they came home, sure, they passed the ball against the Rams, but this is a team that can run the ball. They're very well equipped to run with a lot of depth there, and I think that they're still going to be fine without Dez Bryant. We didn't even know what we were going to get with Dez. Dez is an older guy who was falling off a little bit last season. Definitely, we were hoping that he was going to be better with a better quarterback and a better offense. I was excited to see that. But I don't think it's a severe, limitation to what the ceiling is going to be for the New Orleans Saints this year.
Yeah, I just can't get this image out of my head, Warren, of Dez Bryant in the end zone, high-pointing a football from Drew Brees over the Minnesota Vikings or the Philadelphia Eagles or some other team in the playoffs. I just almost could imagine that happening, almost so real, and now we don't get it.